wonderful Friday. For those of you that are new, my name is Anna. Every Friday I share a new recipe with you guys on this channel. Today I'm going to be doing something just a little bit different. I am going to use my instincts in the kitchen. I had done my meal plan and did my grocery shopping, and I'm not sure what happened, but I forgot a couple of ingredients for a couple of the recipes. One of the recipes I don't plan on making for a couple of days, but for today's recipe I forgot apple cider. So it is a fall recipe with pork chops, and it looked scrumptious, and I've never made it before, but I forgot the apple cider. And the reason why is because they were only selling the big jugs, and they were right beneath the apples when I got the apples. And I just put it out of my head because I said we're never going to drink a gallon of apple cider, so let me look for a smaller container, and I never did. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use a lot of the ingredients that are from that recipe and some ingredients that are not, and we're just going to kind of put a fall meal together, kind of wing it, I guess, and I'm sure it's going to be delicious. So let's go ahead and get started, and let me show you guys what we're going to be working with today. Pork chops, sage, salt, pepper, onion, garlic, chicken broth, and that is for the pork dish. For the side dish, you're going to need potatoes, garlic, salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of milk, half and half, or heavy cream, whichever you prefer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use my new Tefal pan, which I will tell you is supposed to be non-stick. You're supposed to be able to use metal with it. It's already scratching up, so don't buy this pan. I'm going to go ahead and set my temperature to medium-high. And I'm going to add in a little bit of avocado oil and let that heat up. While the oil's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and prep my pork chops. Now I like to rinse my pork chops, well, most of my meat when I use it. I don't always do it, but pork especially. We're going to go ahead and get those rinsed off. And give them a good pat. Let me wash my hands. Go ahead and season both sides with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the pan on this side, and I'll get the other side seasoned once they're in the pan. Okay, we're going to go ahead and let this brown really good on one side before we flip them. I'm going to go ahead and prep my onion and garlic while the meat is browning. I'm doing kind of a mix between that one recipe that I found and smothered pork chop. And I chose to do that because with the potatoes that I'm making, I wanted to have kind of like a gravy or a sauce. You can choose to do the onions however you want. I'm choosing to leave them so that they're like in strips, kind of the way I do it when I caramelize. Totally up to you though. I know this looks like a lot of garlic, but since I'm doing it, I figured I would do enough for the potatoes too. So, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. My father-in-law owned restaurants, and his mom, my husband's grandmother, would peel all the garlic for the restaurant. She would sit outside, I remember, and she would have a big old basket of garlic, and she would just sit and peel it all for him. I don't know if she was doing it for the week or for the month or what she was doing it for, but I just remember she always had big bowls of garlic. Your nails will never be stronger. I have a couple of Granny Smith apples. I forgot to show you guys that I was going to use these, so I'm going to go ahead and get these washed up and sliced up. Okay, I needed to get that off of here so that I could turn the fan off. So we browned our, we went ahead and browned these. Obviously they're not done cooking, but I wanted to get this caramelization on the bottom of the pan. So with the leftover oil, I'm gonna go ahead and toss in the onions and the apples. Add some salt to that, some pepper, it smells so stinking delicious. Perfect. Love that caramelization. Now I'm going to add some garlic, some of the garlic here, and I went ahead and sliced up the sage, or diced it up, just gave it a rough chop, probably about 5 small leaves. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my chicken broth and add, I don't know, probably about 3 cups. Then I'm going to take my pork chops and nestle them inside that sauce. Whoops, sorry about that. And I'm going to put my pan on low, and I'm going to let these simmer for a couple of hours on very low. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the potatoes started, so those can be waiting for us rather than us waiting for the potatoes. So I just have them, I washed them really good, and then I just put enough water to cover them, and we're just going to go ahead and let those boil. I'm going to add some salt to the water. I'm going to give these a test. Oh yeah, these are nice and soft. I'm going to go ahead and strain these out and show you how I'm going to finish them off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of that garlic. I would say this is probably like, Yes, it's garlic and it's fresh. It's not cooked and it's perfectly fine. I just want you guys to know there's enough steam in this pot to soften it so that when I mash it, it blends right in with the potatoes. So no worries there. Add some salt, some pepper. Now I think I said you guys needed heavy cream, which you could use, but I forgot I had bought buttermilk, so I'm going to use buttermilk. So I'm going to pour some buttermilk in here, probably about a half a cup. Go ahead and mash these up. Oh, so good. Now I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese to this, and then I'll give them a taste and see what else they need. Ugh. All right, let me give them a taste here. Perfect. And that is it for the potatoes. They're perfectly creamy. They're so good. You can use heavy cream instead of buttermilk. You can use any kind of cheese you want in here. I just love the buttermilk, Parmesan, and garlic potatoes. They are just delicious. These are perfect, you guys. They're like falling apart, shredding perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these out of the pan. The apples are falling apart, so I'm just going to run my fork through and just kind of mash them up. The onions are nice and soft and tender. I've taken a couple of tablespoons of cornstarch and mixed that up with some water, just till it's like a milk consistency. And now I'm going to whisk this in a little bit at a time, because this will thicken up all your sauces really fast. And you don't want to over thicken it, because I tasted it, it's perfect. The sauce is, it doesn't need anything added to it, so I don't want to have to add anything to loosen it up again. So I'm just going to add this in a little bit at a time. That's perfect. Perfect. Pork chops back in. All right, it's time for the taste test. Put a little bit of mashed potatoes on my plate. Put a little bit of pork chop. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Oh, so good. So good. Okay, time for the taste test. Smells so good. These pork chops are perfectly cooked. I'm gonna get a little bit of potato on there. They're perfectly cooked. They're shredding, completely tender. Oh yeah. Yes. There's a hint of apple in there, a hint. And we all know that pork chops and applesauce go together. There's a hint of apple in there. So I suppose if you wanted it to be more, what is the word I'm like, if you wanted the apple taste to be more present, you could add more apples. I only had 2 Granny Smith. I personally would not add any more. I'm gonna have, I hope I remember the recipe. Oh my gosh, this is delicious. It's so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. That is delicious. You have to try it. I'm gonna try and remember everything in quantity that I put, and I'll put it down in the description. I will write it out. I'll take my time. Definitely something that I will be making again for sure. It is good. I wasn't really sure. Ernie likes when I make smothered pork chops. I don't make pork a lot. And when I do make pork chops, that is typically the direction that I go. So I'm glad I thought of that. It's delicious. You guys are going to enjoy that one. I want to thank you guys again so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you guys try this recipe. If you do, make sure to come back and leave me a comment and let me know how you liked it. And we will see you guys in another video. Bye! This is foot stomping good. So good.